Hello, good afternoon or good morning, according to the time you'll be watching this, Mister. This is Edwin Nataren, and we'd like to be talking about the most important concepts related to this subject. And first of all, I would like to start by mentioning that I'm going to focus on the main concepts, on the most important ones according to the subject and the point of view or in my personal perception. And also, I would like to mention that this subject is really important for us as teachers because we have to be working with students that are going to have trouble with pronunciation, and this is our job. We have to be working with them and according how they will pronounce certain words. And of course, because sometimes they have trouble pronouncing, so we have to be working with them according to teach their correct pronunciation. But of course, taking into consideration about the different type of English that are in the world. I mean, we might find with a student who speaks with British accent, and there is also a student who speaks with an American accent, but there is also another student who talk with Jamaican accent. So, a single word might have like different pronunciations, like water. In this case, they might English speaking way, I say water, but a person who lived or a student who comes from United Kingdom might pronounce it differently, or there are so many ways students can pronounce this word. So I would like to mention that it's pretty important to work on correct pronunciation, but of course there are so many variables, and maybe pronouncing this word differently doesn't it doesn't mean that it's incorrect. I mean, there are many ways we can pronounce this word. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen because I want to focus on as I said before, the most important concept that I saw in this subject. And the first one is the larynx. The larynx is the part that we have in our throat, in this weight of our neck. So this is how sounds start, because there are some vocal cords on this part of the larynx, and this is how we're gonna produce these sounds through vibration and breathing with the air that comes in and when it comes out. So this is like the way we're going to start pronouncing words. So that's what I consider that this is one of the most important concepts we're going to be working with this subject. And also, I would like to continue with diphthongs. Okay, in this case, diphthong is like when there are two vowels that are connected and they might have a peculiar pronunciation. For example, a diphthong is, for example, food. In this case, as I'm showing here, there are plenty of examples, but let's focus on the easiest one, the one that we can easily identify. For example, food. That it's not. I mean, there are some other ways to pronounce it. I mean, there are many diphthongs. In this case, double O would sound like ooh, so we can say food instead of bud, for example. However, there are some, as I said before, there are some other types of diphthongs that might change. For example, if we say blood, it is written with double O, but it is pronounced like blood. But this is not all the case, because as you can see, there are so many. I mean, there are many type of diphthongs that we might find in this language. In this language with a lot of things to study. Another concept is assimilation. This concept is when in a rapid speaking part, in a rapid speech, you connect the words so they sound like one. In this case, I have some examples such as handbag, which is like handbag, or give me, that in a rapid speaking part. In a fast speech, we can even pronounce like gimme, like the song gimme the power. So this is one of the important words that we will find during the speaking part. And another one is elision, which in this case is like not like elimination, but omission of certain phonemes. In this case, I have some examples such as, this is one of the most visible examples that I have here. For example, the word which is pronounced camera, but as you can see, there are this phoneme is taken off. We do not say camera, we say camera, right? Or like this example that we have here, which is pronounced like memory and secretary, and this is what I'm showing here is one I didn't write it, but let me write it here, which is this. Let me put it here, which is International Phonetic Alphabet, which is the one that helps us to pronounce words in a better way. I mean, in the correct way. Another concept is licking. In this case, licking is to pronounce, to link two words to make it sound like just one. This is similar with simulation, but in this case, these words are even closer because I'm taking one consonant with another consonant and I'm putting them together, which in this case I got a clear example such as must and be. Let me show you this clear example. For example, I got right, sorry, cannot, right, never mind. So I got leaking, where in this case I got we have must and we have be, and if we put these two words together, it sounds like must. Okay, and I have I'm having a little bit problem with my slide, but there is no problem about it because I can continue. For example, with okay, in this case I have already mentioned what leaking is. When I'm, as I said before, that I'm connecting two words like must and be. And I have already the word rhythm, which is in my case I consider it's pretty important to mention, which in this case is like the way we're gonna be pronouncing certain words, which in this case I don't want students to confuse with rhythm and stress, because rhythm is like the way we are going to be pronouncing sentence. But okay, I already have my slide here. Let me share it. Right, rhythm. As I was saying, is the sense of movement in speech, marked probably by stress, timing, quality, and syllables. For example, in this case, the rhythm is concerned about the sentence. For example, he wants to go home. This is like he wants to go home, and there's like a hard, and we slow it down. Or the other example that I got here is she gave him $5 for it. He gave him $5 for it. I mean, it comes up and then goes down. I mean, this is part of the rhythm, and I got some other examples such as give it a sweater, or do you want to do it? To do with it. To do with it. I mean, this is like the part of the rhythm part, which is close to stress. But in this case, stress is related to the degree of emphasis given to a word, to a word. For example, in this case, it is represented by these circles. Is how the stress is going to be done. For example, biography. Okay, rhythm is like the way we pronounce a sentence, but in this case, we're talking about single words. For example, biography, simplify, biology. This is like the words, the certain degree of emphasis we're gonna be giving to certain words, because we do not say school, we say school. We do not say computer, we say computer, with certain degree of emphasis in certain words. And the last two concepts that I have here is tone and pitch, which in this case is pretty similar, because in this case tone is the variation in the pitch of the voice while speaking, which is in this case talking about this concept, which is tone. But with, what I mean with pitch is the relative highness or lowness of the tone perceived by the ear. Of course, this depends on the number of vibrations pronounced by the vocal cords, but this is related to the intonation, and it goes high, and it goes when it rises and it falls, as we saw it in one of the chapters of dignity. It goes high, it rises, and it falls, and it depends on the intention of what we're going to be saying in this case. Okay, and this is why the main concept that I would like to mention in this case. And to conclude, I clearly see this subject and this part of the English subject matters pretty important. I found it really important because we have to learn how to teach. First of all, we have to know how it works, how sounds are produced, where are they produced, and how we are going to teach them. Of course, because it's not the same to be or to have students talking in a particular way, or on the other hand, having them pronouncing properly. So I would like to conclude with this part by mentioning this how important phonetic and phonology in our life, in our teaching and academic life is. So thank you very much.